this happen? Did Air Heritage reach out? Or
That
was it the other way?
That was all us. We do something called One Book Beaver County. So One Book Beaver County is where we it's kind of an initiative to get everybody reading the same book and discuss it.
Okay.
We started a long time ago, but the last one right before COVID hit and everything shut down, we read all along quiet. Sorry, I'm all quiet on the Western Front. I can't talk today, and we worked with the History Coalition for the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. So that was a big thing. And then everything kind of shut down. And so we decided, then I was hired, and I was like, we got to take this to the next level.
Next step, next World War.
So we did. And then we went to the next World War. Actually, last year we covered Jamie Ford. Jamie Ford is an author. He's a best-selling author. He lives in Montana. He's written all these amazing books. And it was about the Japanese internment camps. And we had him, and we flew him in, or he drove in because he's cool like that.
From Montana?
Well, no, he had an engagement in Cleveland.
Okay.
But no, he was so cool. So he came in and he talked a little bit about that. Everybody read his book on the hotel on the corner of Bitter and Sweet. And we decided we want to keep going with that. One of our sponsors, our big sponsor that basically covers everything, is PA Cyber. So Brian Hayden helped us with that, and he said he wants to keep sponsoring these. So this year we kind of kept with that World War II theme, and our next author coming in is Marie Benedict. Marie Benedict.
You say that like I'm going to recognize that name.
Maybe
you know
people
Marie,
will.
right?
You know her. Actually, and you won't, because her real name is Heather Terrell. But anyway.
Okay, I know Marie Collender, the food thing.
Oh, he's good. I like him.
He is good.
He's good.
Who?
You have to let me know about your ratatouille later. How you like?
Oh, yeah. You know what? All right, I got to say this because Courtney brought it up.
Yeah.
Right.
We've spoken, Tom and Tom's wife, Judith. Tom's wife, Judith, has hooked me up with tomato sauce. It's gone, by the way.
Okay.
She's hooked me up with homemade candles.
Yeah.
Gone, by the way.
I'm taking note.
No, I'm fine.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like you. I'm moving up in the world.
Right.
I went from a little bit of edible to a whole lot of edible, and Judith sent with Tom a little, and it's a Steelers Tupperware,
Of course.
which of course makes it Yinzerware.
Yeah.
Ratatouille.
Yeah.
So
All homemade, all homegrown vegetables, everything.
Farm to table.
Yeah.
Farm
That's
to
right.
table directly.
That's right.
You know, garden to table
Garden
for
to
us.
table,
Garden
right.
to table.
So the only reason I'm pretending to be nice to Tom is because his wife fed me. I find
I was wondering
Courtney-
what was going
No
on
doubt.
there today. I was wondering, you know.
It's like, God, he's not being the normal jackass. Yeah, Courtney, I find divine. Tom,
Oh, well.
I'm sure.
Well,
do people read more than they used to? Do they read less?
actually,
Should we read more?
see a lot of digital. So we have a lot of digital e-readers and all those things like that. But I personally love a tangible book.
Is it a tactile experience for some people? They can
is.
read a book by turning a
Absolutely.
page, but it's tougher on a screen.
Right. And it's also for some of us who really, really love hoarding. We have all of the evidence we've read behind us. So
All right, Tom, I was going to ask you a question, but she just brought something up. When do you look over and say, okay, I can get rid of that book now? Because I've got books that I've read 10 and 15 times. When do you say, I'll donate that. I'll take it to the library. I'll find somebody else, you know.
there are two very specific types of people who are all about sharing the wealth.
Yeah, I've read
And
it.
then-
You read it.
You never know when. My mother used to be the same with boxes. I don't know with boxes. You never know when you might need that box.
Right.
So we would have way too many boxes. So maybe
Just cardboard boxes?
cardboard boxes. It was her thing. It's fine.
Okay.
But I think it's because I grew up in a military family. So you never know when we had to ship out.
Never know
So-
when it was time to go to a new base.
Exactly. So that's so yeah. So I would say there's two different types of people. There's those who are absolutely going to give that book away, and you never know when you might
It's,
need that book later.
Right.
I've read it 10 times. I'm gonna read it an 11th time.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Tom Gargaro and Courtney Colaizza. Did I
Yeah.
get it close?
Got it. Yeah.
They're my guest. News is next. This conversation is not over.
It's summer, and that means it's time to get going and enjoy the warm weather. If you're inclined to enjoy the outdoors and have a good time, your truck is your lifeline to towing recreational vehicles, campers, boats, and carrying jet skis, fishing gear, and suitcases. The folks at Moon Township Ford know that for families that like to travel and vacation, the Ford F-150 truck is the vehicle for you. Get a 2023 Ford F-150 XL with 0% APR financing for 36 months. No matter where your summer vacation takes you, you can be sure that a Ford F-150 from Moon Township Ford will make your adventure much more fun. No wonder that it's the most popular vehicle sold in the U.S. Ford's F-150 is the quintessential American truck to celebrate all of the summer holidays. Get going now to Moon Township Ford showroom on University Boulevard across from Robert Morse.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Did you know Fisher's New Brighton Foodland is as close as a click? That's right. You can order your groceries right from your home. Click grocerystorenewbrighton.com and fill your shopping cart up. It's just that easy. Or stop in to shop for your favorite items. They specialize in fresh meats, hoagies, bakery items, and of course the deli. Pick up a delicious hot meal to go like fried chicken dinners, and don't forget fried fish every Friday. Don't cook, make it a Foodland day. Visit Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, your one stop to shop for all needs, or click grocerystorenewbrighton.com. What's that funny noise you hear? It's probably your old furnace or air conditioner. Whether it's hot or whether it's cold, it's a comforting feeling to know that Albertini and Air Conditioning, your local trained dealer, is always there to give you what you need. Serving Beaver County since 1983, you can't stop a train and you can't stop Alberts from offering their experienced servicemen to get the job done right. Call Albertini and Air Conditioning today at 724-876-0100 or click www.albertsheating.com.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
The warm weather is back, and that can only mean one thing. Pirates baseball for a 75th season on Beaver County Radio. Tune in and listen to the Pirates Radio Network broadcast team as they take you through every pitch, hit, and out of the 2023 baseball season. Make sure you set your radio dial to WBVP WMBA 99.3 FM or 95.7 FM for all the action. Pirates baseball is being presented locally by the St. Barnabas Health System, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Keystone Wellness Program, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and Beaver County Radio, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
Tune in Wednesdays for your chance to win a $25 gift certificate to Z Pub and Diner in Chippewa. All you'll need to do is like the WBVP-WMBA Facebook page, share the sports trivia post, and answer the question correctly for your chance to win a gift certificate to Z Pub and Diner every Wednesday. Winners will be selected on Facebook only. It's Z Pub and Diner Sports Trivia every Wednesday on WBVP and WMBA's Facebook page. Good luck.
Stop out to Bentley of Pittsburgh this Sunday morning to see Beaver County Radio's Eddie Crow and Frank Sparks as they will be on hand for the Bentley Invitational Car Show from 10 a.m. to noon. Bentley of Pittsburgh is located along Route 19 in between Cranberry and Wexford. Eddie and Frank will have the Beaver County Radio Personality Prize Wheel with them, and you'll be able to win a variety of great prizes, including items from the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Beaver County Radio's appearance at the Bentley Invitational Car Show is being brought to you by the William Murphy Funeral Home and Beaver County Radio.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM. along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMVA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning. We can expect mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 84 degrees. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after this look at news. Close to 2,000 Duquesne Light customers were without power as of 7 a.m. this morning due to last night's storms. The biggest outages are Independence Township with over 200 without power and Center Township with 100. If you're heading to work or out for a drive, power lines were down in the county, causing some road restrictions. A downed tree and wires caused a closure of both lanes in both directions of Hardin Run Road, Hanover-Kendall Road between Frankfort Road, West Virginia and the West Virginia state line. Another downed tree caught up in wires in North Swickley Township closed River Road in both directions between Bennett Run Road and Gillen Road. A downed utility pole on US 30 has both directions closed between Balktown Road and Frankfort Road in Green Township. A downed tree and wires on Todd Road, Independence Road has closed both directions between Gringo Independence Road and Tank Farm Road. And a downed utility pole on Kane Road caused a closure of both directions between Laird Drive and Airport Road in Hopewell. The Brady's Run Park Happy 5K and 10K, which will be held at Pavilion 7 on Sunday morning, September 3rd at 9 a.m., will feature food such as Eaton Park Smiley cookies, barbecue sandwiches, pasta salad, and hot dogs, all free with admission. 10 Happy trophies and 50 Happy medals will be divided among the Run, Walk, and 10K divisions. Age groups will be based on the pre-registration numbers. The price is only $25 now, and it will be $30 on race day. All proceeds will go to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. With summer winding down, many Americans are heading out of town. AAA booking data for flights, hotels, rental cars, and cruises show Labor Day weekend travel is up over last year. Domestic bookings are up 4% and international bookings are up 44%. AAA data shows that Vancouver, Rome, London, Dublin, and Paris are the 5 most popular international destinations over Labor Day weekend. AAA data also showed domestic cruise bookings over Labor Day weekend are up 19% compared to 2022. Authorities have charged a woman accused of intentionally abandoning her dog at a Pennsylvania airport before she boarded a flight to a resort in Mexico. Allegheny County Police say the 44-year-old woman tried to bring her male French bulldog with her on a flight departing from Pittsburgh International Airport on August 4th, but the dog was denied boarding by the airline because it didn't meet the criteria for an emotional support animal and didn't have the required kennel. A police officer eventually found the dog unharmed in the airport's short-term parking lot. The woman told authorities she had made arrangements with her mother to pick up the animal at the airport. The major freight railroads say a disagreement over whether they will be allowed to discipline some workers who use a government hotline to report safety concerns has kept them from following through on the promise they made back in March to join the program after the fiery East Palestine derailment prompted calls for reforms. But unions and workplace safety experts say the idea of disciplining workers who report safety concerns undermines the purpose of creating such a hotline because workers won't use it if they fear retribution. Former Occupational Safety and Health Administration official Debbie Berkowitz said dangerous companies always want to blame workers for safety problems, but statistics show unsafe conditions are usually to blame. Democrats in Pennsylvania are talking up abortion rights as they try to protect their state Supreme Court majority in the presidential battleground. Pennsylvania Democratic Party Chair Sharif Street said Republicans made it an issue when they chose to strip away a woman's right to choose. The race between Democrat Dan McCaffrey and Republican Carolyn Carluccio in the November 7th election will fill an open seat on the 7-seat court. Carluccio has taken a lower profile on abortion. Democrats currently hold a 4-2 advantage on the court.
Here's the Beaver County forecast on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMVA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
We can expect a chance of showers today with otherwise mostly cloudy skies and a high of 84 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight going down to a low of 66. A slight chance of showers tomorrow with partly sunny skies and a high near 80. Mostly sunny on Sunday with a high near 77. And mostly sunny Monday with a high near 80. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM, 95.7 FM, 1230 WBVP 1460 WMBA, and streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Talk about what's happening in Beaver County or around the world on Teleforum. 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. It's Teleforum with Eddie Crow.
1230 WBVP 1460 WMBA 99.3 FM, 95.7 FM. If you're following this on Facebook, that's Courtney and that's Tom. Gargaro, you know Gargaro. Gargaro comes by here all the time. Courtney Colaizza, did I say it right again or did I mess it up?
I'm used to it. You're fine.
Okay, that's a polite way of saying I said it wrong.
It's fine. You're fine. Yeah, Colaizza's right. No,
Colaizza.
you're right. You said it. You're right.
Is she messing with me? These are
I
the
don't
kind
know,
of
Eddie.
people.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll never tell.
A well-known vindictive class, those library people.
Yeah.
Off air, we were talking about different programs with the library. I live a half a block, go down there all the time.
Yeah.
There's programs, there's live music that goes on the
at
Ambridge
Laughlin,
Library.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
How much of that do you have a hand in? And how much of that exists that most people don't know about?
Oh, gosh, there's so many things that don't exist or that do exist that people don't know about with libraries, excuse me. For example, if you have a library card, you can...
I do.
And then we have some streaming services that people probably don't know about, so you can stream for free with your library card.
Really?
If you are...
Now, what kind of...
So it's called Canopy, and then there's also something called Cloud Library Movies. So we have two. And you can watch all of the latest stuff on it. I mean, it may not be the Netflix stuff too, but we have things that are from Netflix and other providers there as well, and you can stream for free with your library card.
The library system is involved with what Tom's got going on with World War II and history and the history that Beaver County made in World War II.
Yeah,
It's really phenomenal, and I know a lot of people that grew up in Beaver County know a lot about this, but like little things. There was a place out in Potter Township, right, called the Jeffries Farm. It's a 300-acre farm. It's out kind of a little bit past where the big cracker plant is now, as you'd go out Route 18. And they found this 300-acre farm out there, and the Army Corps of Engineers said, we want to use this as a gasoline tank farm.
Okay.
And so... And see, what they were trying to do was they didn't want to put it in Allegheny County or, in a very prominent area because they were afraid that the Axis powers would be looking at those big areas. So they wanted to put it in more remote areas. Over time, that became Koppers, which is a chemical company, and they made a thing called betadine, not the medical stuff. And that's where the word, if you've ever heard the word Kabuta, where the cracker plant is now, there's a little part of the town there that used to be called Kabuta. There was a Kabuta Hotel, and that was a combination of Koppers and this betadine.
Okay.
So really, that whole area there was all like chemical plants and stuff. So there was also really neat stuff. During the war, they built these sighting towers. These were steel towers, anywhere from 30 to 90 feet high, with steel beams on them that you could climb up, and they were watchtowers. And a lot of the towers for this region were made in Beaver Falls and New Brighton. And little
what
things.
Were they watching? Were they watching for air raids?
Air raids,
okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm not from around Beaver County, so forgive me. So when you're going to Ambridge, I noticed there's a watchtower. So if I'm headed from, say, Chippewa to Ambridge, and can't remember what's that road?
About 65.
Yeah, by the railroad tracks.
Ohio River Boulevard?
Yeah.
There's like a
65?
tower up there. I've seen that. Is there a tower there that I've seen before?
I'm
terrible.
I'm not sure because I know that it actually isn't.
Tom, don't. I barely make it to work every day, and you're looking at me like I know.
Well, you live up that way. You probably drive by it every day. You have never noticed it, but
I'm
I'm
usually
not sure. But
cussing.
isn't one of the radio station towers up in that area
maybe
in
it's a
Harmony?
radio station tower.
I believe you are correct.
All right.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
that's it.
you're the radio station guy. I'm asking you.
Yeah, but I'm doing this. They
Yeah.
don't let me near any tower stuff.
That's true.
That's a way higher class of information.
But these were somewhat smaller towers, right?
Okay.
And it was just a way for the people, and it was all civilian manned, right? And people would volunteer to say, look, I'll go up and stand on a watchtower from 6 till 9 or something, right?
Yeah.
And they would watch because radar was just kind of coming into being back then. So, I mean, they had like over 100,000 of these towers spread throughout the United States, right? And the people would go up there and just watch to see if any enemy planes were coming.
And
it was
take
that
turns.
rudimentary.
Is it true? And I've had people tell me this. We were on the list of the big boy bombs because of the nuclear plant.
Well, first of all,
Not to be technical and military with my phrasing.
right, just with all due respect, and when you say that,
Yeah.
what that means. The nuclear plant in World War II wasn't there, okay?
Okay.
Shipping Port, which was one of the very first nuclear plants in the world,
I think
became operational, I think, in the mid to late 50s.
I think it's the oldest one that's still running.
Well, it transitioned actually from Shipping Port, the old small plant, to Beaver Valley.
Okay.
But anyway, but we were on the map because of Beaver County's industrialization. All of these plants, like I was talking about with American Bridge, they made these Bailey bridges. Bailey bridges were a way if our military forces needed to cross a river, right? And a lot of times as we were moving through Europe in World War II, a lot of times the Germans or the Axis powers would blow up the bridges once they got on the other side. And these Bailey bridges were a way that the Army Corps of Engineers could, within a day or two, make a bridge. And American Bridge made those. They made oil and gas tanks. They did a lot. These LSTs, landing ship transports, they made 123 of them. This is no easy task. They were actually given an award by the United States Navy for being one of the best production lines in the country for that kind of stuff, right there in Ambridge, with American Bridge. So it's like, to me, everywhere you look in Beaver County, pretty much every town had their own way of contributing. In addition to there were, I have no idea even how to figure out the number, many, many, many volunteers after Pearl Harbor. Beaver County had people lining up, all these men lining up to go. And again, just like everywhere else in the country, right? As the majority of men left to go to war, the women stepped up and worked in a lot of these factories. Absolutely.
Okay.
So really neat stuff.
And you had a lot of women working at that Curtiss Wright propeller plant.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Courtney, you mentioned you didn't grow up here.
Mm-mm.
How long have you been in Beaver County?
Beaver County, we
Or how long Western PA?
Western PA now since 2018. My husband's a Beaver Falls kid, so
Really?
So yeah, we lived here in the early 2000s for a little while, and then we moved to the state of Washington. Yeah, and then we came back because he was doing something with the shell plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that say the shell plant didn't provide any jobs, perfect example. People coming here to work.
He came here to work.
Did you know the history of Beaver County before you got here? Had he already just burned it into your ear being proud about it, or did you school up once you got here?
Nick is a quiet man.
Okay.
So no.
Well, so am I, but
No, his you can tell he's a good person. He's hardworking, and I think all of that that has a lot to do with where he came from and grew up. So yeah.
How he was brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
well, and again, throughout Beaver County, all these towns, they're all blue collar people with our parents' generations and stuff like that. Everybody, even to this day, they take a lot of pride in where they grew up, down to the towns. I'm associated in some other ways with some events that go on in Beaver Falls. I know there's a lot of pride down there. And, God bless these towns who really went through a big transformation in the late 70s, early 80s as the steel mills went away, and still found a way to be vibrant. Ambridge is in the same class and stuff like
Beaver
that.
Falls is doing the same. He even said, wow, growing up, he saw a little bit of both, where growing up he could go to the shoe store. He said he could go and see a movie. He could go do these things, and then all of a sudden that was gone. And then now their CDC is really bringing some things back. Yeah. So it's really nice to see these towns really. I mean, Ambridge is a great example also.
Absolutely.
So, And now I know Beaver Falls is Beaver Brewing Company, and I know with Ambridge having those breweries come up has brought kind of new life and things like that.
Breweries, coffee shops, yoga shops.
And Beaver Falls has a business incubator section that's been under construction for a year or so. That's
the
ready to open up.
Beehive.
Yeah, yeah. It's really it takes a lot. A lot of these things with the towns that have to go through these transitions. We were talking off the air, right? This is a multi-year endeavor. Midland, we were talking about Midland with Crucible Steel. Crucible Steel was a big steel company and a big contributor in World War II, right? And a lot of pretty much everybody who worked at Crucible Steel in Midland lived in Midland.
Right.
The ideal thing back then was to be able to walk to work. That was the ideal thing, right? Because you didn't have to have money for a car and take public transportation and stuff like that. And Midland, again, here they are, 80 years later, still a vibrant town after being a major contributor in World War II.
Yeah.
So with Crucible.
Same thing with Aliquippa. I got stories from people that they just walk across, I think it's Constitution is what they call it at that stretch.
Yeah.
They'd walk across Constitution. You'd go to work down there on the riverfront and then head back up and walk home and stuff. And I had no idea of the history until you get immersed in the history.
And if you want history and you're talking Aliquippa, there's no better place than the B.F. Jones Memorial Library. It is one of the most beautiful buildings I've
very
ever
cool.
seen.
We were just there last month. Huh?
So we had the Heinz History. We had Emily. Emily came from the Heinz History Center. She is one of the curators for the H.J. Heinz, and she does. She talked a little bit about who he was and his Western Pennsylvania roots and how it all happened. And even she, when she walked into that building, again, she's a curator for the Heinz History Center, which is part of the Smithsonian. Walked into this place and just was like. So I always tell people, please visit all of our libraries because they're just, you would never imagine some of these places.
Who made Western PA a better place, Heinz or Carnegie? Realizing you spend a lot of time in a building with his name on the Carnegie, with the libraries everywhere.
Well, when I learned that the factory workers for H.J. Heinz, the women got manicures every day, I'm going to go with
Fair is fair.
Well,
but no, I think they both were significant.
Okay.
They were, if I can just interject my opinion, from my knowledge, Heinz was a much more generous, nicer person to his employees.
His employees,
in my
were taken
opinion,
so
Carnegie,
well
for all he did,
Yeah.
right, he was a huge industrialist. And I think in his later years is when he decided to establish a lot of the libraries, right, and get his name to live on. But I think when they were doing business, I think Mr. Heinz was a much nicer person.
Was not in a fist fight with Frick every third day. Yeah.
Right.
No, but that's some great things to look up. But I will say also he left with some large buildings that are very difficult to maintain. Like Beaver Falls' roof, for example.
It's a beautiful building, and nobody knows how to fix it anymore.
Right, yeah. So they're doing lots and lots of fundraisers for just these architectural things.
Now, isn't that the oldest library in Beaver County?
Is Beaver Falls.
Beaver Falls, yeah.
It's Beaver Falls, between Beaver Falls, B.F. Jones, and Midland. Midland's another really, really old one.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I get the perception that from when I was a kid, libraries have really changed, right?
We don't do the Dewey Decimal System
Right.
anymore?
Many don't, unless you're in some specific fields. So, yeah.
So I've got a question, Courtney. I mean, if we walked into one of the libraries in the Beaver County Library System and said, we'd like to look at what you have on the history of World War II. Is that something somebody could direct us to?
Absolutely. We can get you with, we were just talking about B.F. Jones Memorial Library. Her name is Cindy. She's one of the historians here, and we can get you with her in a second, and she can pull up all of the archives. We still have newspapers.
Are there sections in some of the libraries that focus on local history? and I've got to give credit just as a side. Some of the information that I've given about the history of Beaver County and World War II comes from Jeffrey Snedden.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know
Jeff
Jeffrey,
Snedden,
right?
yeah.
And Jeffrey's been on
Love
the air
Jeff.
here.
Jeff knows it, man.
I've got to
Yeah.
give him credit.
I've never met him, but everybody tells me I have to get Jeff Snedden. I think he's so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the information I got are from articles he has written and stuff
Right.
like that. But I didn't know if in the libraries, if in any of the libraries, there are sections on like local history.
There's sections on local history in some of them, and like V.F. Jones, for example, I think Ambridge as well. If you've never been, if you go downstairs in the Laughlin Memorial Library, there is a little room
Okay.
that has some things behind glass. I recommend you guys look at those local things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'll
The
let
one
you
in
guys go see it.
Aliquippa?
Also, the one in Aliquippa is
Okay.
working with the Heinz History Center to bring all these local facets together. So you're going to have, it's almost like walking into a little museum.
Well, we
which is
found
nice.
we went to an event,
Yeah.
right, that Courtney was involved with there a month or so ago. Judith and I went. It was a wonderful event. And when it was over, we got invited to go downstairs, and we were like blown away because they're growing herbs down in
we have hydroponic gardening.
yeah, hydroponic gardening down in the library. I mean,
Libraries that used to go on behind the tennis
well, right.
courts.
No,
Libraries
this
have
is,
changed.
this is not even
These
you
are
know,
legal hydroponic gardens.
and natural herbs, you know,
Mm-hmm.
really
Sure.
in a positive way. I don't want anybody to get the
Yeah,
wrong idea.
no,
but,
yeah.
but the libraries, you know, what's really cool to me is the buildings, and my wife and I many times been in and out of the Beaver Falls Library. Beautiful building, almost impossible to maintain and stuff. But the operations of the libraries really seem to have advanced a lot since we were kids and we would go into the libraries. It was basically you showed your library card and you got a book. There's all kind of, you know, like you were saying, the audio visual things going on, computers and all that kind of stuff, you know. So, and I think it's wonderful that the Beaver County Library System, and this event wouldn't be happening at Air Heritage without the Beaver County Library System and Courtney reaching out. We had never met each other.
and our friends at PA Cyber.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought, you know, this would be kind of a cool thing and stuff. So, you see, it's not just the libraries, it's not just what the libraries offer, but it's the kind of stuff you do to help
Thanks.
associate us with, we're an affiliate of the Heinz History Center, but we would have never known about this event. And it is, for any of us that are involved in history, the Heinz History Center in Pittsburgh is the apex of history preservation
absolutely.
in Western Pennsylvania. So it would have never happened. You know, Air Heritage is a place where we work hard every day to keep history alive. We're all volunteers, but an event like this is something that it helps the library system. It certainly is a professional presentation by the Heinz History Center. It helps Air Heritage. You know, so we're very thankful to have this event next week.
It helps the pride of people in Beaver County.
That's right.
Well, and I'm glad you said that because the woman who is coming, so the author that is coming on September 14th, her name is Marie Benedict. She is a local author from Sewickley. Sewickley. Yeah. And she is one of the top authors circulating here in the Beaver County Library System. So, and her premise about all of her books is these unsung heroes who accomplished so much, but nobody really heard about them. So that's how I feel about Beaver County. We've accomplished so much, but maybe people don't realize what we've done.
Right.
So the Heinz History Alive and all these things and working with them, I really want to highlight that. So, yeah.
What did I not ask you? I've got about a minute left. Courtney, Colaizza, and Tom Gargaro have been my guests, and it's been a wonderful hour. What did I not get to that I should have gotten to?
Courtney, I'll defer to you first.
This is going to be an incredible event at the Air Heritage Aviation Museum. I couldn't have asked for a better space.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was blown away when you said yes, absolutely, because I kind of I tried to ask Leslie. I'm like, I'd really like to have it here, and she was like, I don't know, maybe we'll see. And when I asked, and you were like, absolutely. I cannot wait for this day. We're
very, very excited too. Just to let everybody know, you can find information on the event on Air Heritage's Facebook page. I'm sure it's on your
on
Facebook
our Facebook page. Yep. You can find it on Eventbrite too if you follow it there.
Good,
you can find
thank
it there
you.
as well. Yeah.
So, and again, there'll be refreshments there afterwards. It's really an event that everybody that I talk to in the community is really excited about and looking forward to. And we want to thank Beaver County Radio really and St. Barnabas for giving us this platform to talk about the things we care so much about.
Well, I want to thank you for giving me a wonderful last hour to wrap up the week. I'd way rather talk about this. Tom Gargaro, Courtney Colaizza have been my guests. It's Teleforum. It's Beaver County Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to Beaver County Radio, created by local people in the St. Barnabas studios. 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge. Beaver County High School football has always been known as the best high school football around. And again this year, everybody around the world will get to see and hear the action on Beaver County Radio. Tune in this Friday at 6:30 p.m. for the Blackhawk Cougars at the Beaver Falls Tigers from Reeves Stadium. And on Saturday, Beaver will travel to Western Beaver with coverage starting at 12:30 p.m. Friday's game will be live video streamed on the Beaver County Radio Facebook page and YouTube channel. And both Friday and Saturday's game will be audio streamed on air at 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP 1460 WMBA, and online at beavercountyradio.com and the St. Barnabas broadcasting apps. High school football on Beaver County Radio this season is being brought